AJ.
I'm Satin.
And welcome to Rooted in Real, where genuine conversation meets grounded perspective.
Yay, you got it. You got it.
Good with that one.
Yes. All right, y'all. You will see that we have two special guests here with us today.
Yes.
We got the Black Show.
What's up?
We got Haley and Mondarius.
Mr. Black.
Mr. Black.
Mr. Black.
The Mr. Black.
You're right. How y'all doing?
We doing
How y'all
good.
feeling?
I'm
Doing good.
excited to be on here. I'm like, oh.
We're so glad you guys are here. This is our family, y'all.
It's our first time having guests, too, so you give us some grace. Thanks.
Yeah, give us
I think y'all did great for y'all's first guest. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, if we're going to have a first guest, it should be the Black.
I mean, really.
Because if it's not, what are you doing?
What are
Exactly.
you doing?
Put them on your podcast.
That's all I'm saying.
All right, y'all. So today
Okay.
we are talking about boundaries.
Yes.
I know it can be a touchy subject, but it's something that has to be talked about, has to be done for, the efforts of your life.
That's right. Yeah.
And I want to tell you that Haley, boundaries are her jam.
Yeah.
If we're going to
Yeah.
say something like it, it's her jam. She
Yeah.
loves to discuss it. So I figured she would be great to talk about this on this
Yes.
podcast today. So we're going to talk about boundaries versus rules versus standards. Because
Yeah.
people tend to get them all mixed up as well. And then we'll go into different ways that we can use these with people that we love and want to keep relationships
Right.
with.
Right.
All right? So boundaries. This is a simple one. Boundaries protect you. Rules control others. Standards define what you allow.
That's right. What you allow. The
What you allow.
The
It's
quality level of treatment
Yes,
you allow in your life.
it is. So you two. Haley, since you like to discuss boundaries, I will let you go first.
Okay, look, I can talk about boundaries all day, especially, it depends on the dynamic that we're talking about, but one of the ones that I think is so important is when it comes to family, especially with marriage, because a lot of people, they can't wrap their head around the fact that access is a little bit different once you become married.
Yes.
But for the basis of boundaries, it's those things that you no longer, I'm making a definite line between you no longer need to cross this. So
Right.
Yes.
when it comes to marriage, one of the things is don't feel too comfortable to speak on my marriage or get into my marital business.
Oh, yeah.
That one is a big thing.
That's a
Mind
big
the
one.
business that pay you, because my
That's
marriage
right.
ain't it.
It ain't got nothing to do with you. It's
That's
between
right.
me, him, and the Lord. Amen. Your
Tend in
opinions, your
mind.
thoughts.
Tend in mind. Tend to yourself and mind your own business.
There you go.
Tend in mind.
Tend in mind.
There you go. But I will say, I think that especially when you get married young, that it is a difficult thing for a lot of people to do, is to keep boundaries with their family, the household that you come from. Because also when you're young, you're learning the dynamics between I'm no longer a child, I'm now an adult.
Right.
But now this is my household, and I'm the
Yeah.
person that makes the rules for
That's
this
right.
household, this marriage.
True. The thing is, people don't teach you
Right.
how to have boundaries. When you're
No.
a kid,
I was about to say,
it's
yep.
always, nobody teaches you how
You
to
do
talk
what you're
to other people.
told.
You do
Yep.
what you're told. You're never allowed to make decisions for your own self, for your own body, and things like that. And
That's
then
right.
it's called like, that you're just a child. Stay in a child's place.
Right.
Exactly.
But when you get older, then it's like, okay, well, you're an adult now, but you didn't really teach me how to be an
Nope.
adult. Besides,
That's
okay,
right.
make sure you pay your bills on time.
I
Right.
agree.
But
Appreciate
okay.
that.
And they might
but
even
also
teach you
know how
that.
to-
No,
they might not.
that part.
I mean-
Because
They
you
might
know
not.
they wouldn't pay their bills on time.
You know
But
what?
that's a conversation for another day. Because if
Gas
they were,
bill
it
in the
wouldn't have
baby
to be in my
name.
name.
Gas bill in the baby name, cable, try to buy a house, find out you got a credit card. It's
You see what I'm saying?
bad business, bad
Do
business.
you know what? Look,
Y'all remind me
That has
every
never
day-
happened to me,
Y'all
by the
remind me
way.
every day that I've got great hair.
Look, that has never happened to me. The people
we're
in my
not going
house,
to talk about the trauma in black households, okay?
Yeah.
counseling abound.
But I will say this. I also don't think, not only are the children not properly prepared for that reality,
Yeah.
I don't think that the parents are.
No.
Because they get heavily offended
Oh,
at the point
yeah,
in time
yeah.
that you set a boundary.
Yeah.
You're not going to speak to my husband
You're being
that way.
disrespectful.
You're not going to talk
Yeah.
to my wife that way. You're not going to
Yeah.
talk about them in that way.
Right.
You have no footing in this household.
That's right.
And that I'm your mother. I'm your father. What that got
sorry.
to do with anything? This
Leave
is my
and cleave.
husband. This is my wife.
Leave and clean.
Leave
That's
and
right.
cleave.
They don't
Leave
grasp that
anymore.
concept well at all. They don't grasp that I'm no longer your child. I'm somebody's wife or I'm somebody's
Yes.
husband. They don't see that. And they say, well, you taking his side. I'm supposed to.
Yes,
Exactly.
literally.
It
Yeah.
is so crazy to me the number of conversations that people get into when they're like, oh, well, this person isn't the same anymore with the family ever since they married such and such, as if the
Right.
person that they married is a bad guy.
Right.
When in reality, a lot of the times when you have an outside person coming in, they are able to spot the issues and the
Yes.
red flags and the dynamics that you have with their family.
Right.
But you've lived with it your entire life, so
It's
it's become
normal.
normal.
Yeah.
But when that person comes into your life and they're like, y'all always do that, it
Yeah.
got you looking like, you know what? Actually, I don't like the way they talk to me in this way.
And we
I don't
discussed
like
that
when they
before.
do that.
We
Yeah, I just
discussed
let it
that
go.
before when we were talking, and she was like, "You tell me stories, and you just be so calm about it, and you be like, yeah, that's good, and I'd be like, no. Have you talked to somebody about that? And see,
I'm
my
like,
husband
no,
was
that's
the same
not
way,
okay. That's not okay.
and I'm like, yeah, I know it's not okay, but I mean, what are you gonna do about it? And she's like, something.
yeah.
Yes, cut
Anything.
them off.
Look, she's quick to be like, maybe you need to go to therapy, because that, you shouldn't say that so calmly.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be so okay with that.
Yeah, now I think we both were on all us was on the FaceTime call, and I was like, yeah, you need to probably check that out. Hey, listen, I'm not going to therapy for that. We already figured that out. It's
Look,
done.
it
It's done.
It is what it is. We are, look, I already know why I am the way that I am. I already know, hey,
Yeah.
actually, I need to do this a different way. I
Yeah.
do it a different way. I
Yeah.
ain't got to discuss it with nobody.
Yeah.
Now listen, we are big proponents for therapy on this podcast. I want
Yes.
you to say, hey,
Don't listen to her.
Look,
Go
if
sit
you,
down.
If you are unable to recognize your own triggers, if you
That's
are
right.
not self-aware and you are unable to handle the triggers,
you better
go
talk
see
to them
somebody.
people.
Especially if you're still around those people that trigger you.
Oh.
Yes.
Because boundaries, people don't set boundaries, and they continue to still operate in that dysfunction and that chaos, and they continually go back and they continue to get abused, and then they perpetuate the
Yeah.
cycle in
Yes.
their relationships with other people, especially with their spouse. It's terrible.
And men,
I was gonna
that
say
go for
mine.
you too, man.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not just for women.
Yes.
It goes for men too.
Yes.
I will say a lot when it came to boundaries. We had a lot of conversations very early on, but what was your perspective when it came to like setting boundaries? Would you say it was difficult? Or?
Okay, so it's my turn now.
Oh.
Because y'all were talking a lot.
sorry,
I
my
had
bad, my
thoughts,
bad.
but y'all were going.
Okay, go
don't
ahead.
try to switch and ask a different question. Let's stay on the
No,
same
no, no.
one.
I was just introducing
Let me
you
let
in.
me go
ahead.
now. Let me
Man,
go
deal with
now.
the ADD.
Okay.
Piggybacking off of what you said, it is hard for family to,
Yeah.
because for me, I came down here to Georgia and I was down here for 4 years. I went to school in Hickory for 2 years. So I was gone away. I was removed from the people who knew me from high school money for 6 years. And when I came back, they were so unfamiliar with the new money and wanted to put me back in the box that they had me
Of
in
high
from
school money.
of high school money.
Childhood.
And still to this day, I'm about to be 30 in 2 weeks. Literally, we just said this. But there's still people who was like, he's different. That ain't what he used to do. He used to do
Yeah.
this. Why would I do the same things I did when I was 18?
That's right.
Nobody should ever be the same person ever from 18 to 30. And it's
Yeah,
just
we
hard
said it.
for family to see you in a light that's different from what they've always seen you in.
Right. And especially if the light that you now have come into
Yeah.
is different, completely different, with different values, different thoughts
yeah.
than what they thought they raised you to be like.
Right.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
I
So
agree
it
with
all,
that.
It all changes in that way.
Yeah, I have family members that I'll say in particular my older brother, and he highlights that a lot, but not in a negative way. He tries to highlight it to say, in a sense, you've grown, you've changed, not bringing me back to that place, which I think is important. He's not trying to keep me in the past. He's not trying to keep me in a negative place, but sometimes it triggers negative emotions that I haven't yet addressed, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't think I want to discuss that right now, but my brother, he don't care nothing about it. He don't care nothing about it. Because for him, it's cathartic just speaking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then again, seeing the growth in me. And, again, he calls me, we try to talk very often. And I was telling her that he called and we were talking about certain things. And he was like, I'm just proud of you for stepping out. He said, because I know you, this new for you, this good
I
for
know.
you. And I was like, yeah, I got somebody to push. As long as I have somebody to push, I eat me. I can do it.
And Shannon said the same thing, that,
Yeah.
that I'm going against what I would normally do
Yeah.
by doing this, but we're doing a great
Yeah.
job. And I was like, thank you.
Yes, I didn't obey the boundary.
Right. The boundary
Yeah.
was I don't want to do such things.
Right.
And I said, all right, never mind.
Right, but back to what you were saying, it's absolutely true that the 18-year-old you is not the same 30 or 29-year-old.
And I think a lot of people are like, it comes down to the fear of the unknown. Like
Yeah.
people, you get to coming up with these new ideas and telling them new things or new ways you're gonna get a grasp on life, and it's
Right.
like, well, we didn't do this back in 1967.
Ooh, let's not. Ooh.
We didn't do this back
That's
then.
Pandora
Like this
my
is something
day.
different, right? And even with how you raise your child, like it's like, well, I fed you candy when you were 2 months old. Like,
Yeah,
Oh,
man, don't
start on that.
look.
Because that's gonna
Yeah.
get into rules.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
we got rules and regulations
Yeah,
over
yeah.
here.
That is control.
I'm telling you right now,
Yeah.
today.
Right.
That irks me so much when people
Yeah.
are like, "Oh, well, I did such and such with my kids." Okay, first of all,
That was 30
Yeah.
years ago, Barbara.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
even to mention, half the ingredients we got in foods today was not
Right.
in the foods that y'all was eating.
I'm
They
mad.
out here killing folks. We
Yeah.
got let's not get into
Right.
it.
Yeah.
But
all the things that we were eating more whole grains, fruits,
Yeah.
vegetables, that
Yes.
sort of stuff, and now you got these kids eating whatever.
Right.
It's not the same.
we have
not the
lab
same.
grown meat now. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm
We got
sorry.
clone meat.
You see what I'm saying? Like the
not the
food
same.
is
They out here
not the
with
same.
Dolly.
Same label, not the same ingredients.
Right.
That's number one. Number two, I dare you get that little girl cupcake. Try me. Actually,
Oh,
do
I
it.
know.
Do it. I'ma just let
Yeah.
you. I'ma hand it to you. I wish you might.
Yeah. When I had my
Watch
baby,
somebody.
when I had my first child, I had a lot of rules, boundaries, and standards set for her interaction with my mom because we didn't necessarily have the
Yeah.
typical mother-daughter relationship. And I remember my older brother, one time we got in this disagreement, I would call it, and I was like, you know what? You raise your kids how you raise your kids. I'll raise mine how I'm gonna raise mine. And my husband was like, well, you know what you experienced. And although I may say that's your mom, do this, because he had great relationships with his parents.
Yeah.
I
wasn't the
understand
same.
where you're coming from. And so, he was, very even keel about, balancing our relationship so that I wasn't too restrictive and I wasn't operating off of my trauma.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely understand that
That
because
can
money
be
is a
rough.
big
Yeah, that
proponent
can be
for
rough.
family.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you don't know my family.
Yeah, and I'm not I'm not necessarily like I can take it or leave it and probably gonna leave it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be hard though because once you have children,
Yeah.
you're like, I want you to have the family unit. I want you to have
Well,
all the things that. But I know. I want you to have all the things that come with like spending the holidays with your cousins or being able to go to Big Mama's house to have sleepovers with your. But like you realize that maybe your family ain't the family for that.
Yeah, it's
If
not
you
where
wanna
you should
raise,
be.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you want to raise
That's
your
touchy
kids in a
money.
certain light, in a certain way, with
Yeah.
certain values and morals and thoughts, and be able to make their own boundaries, like
Right.
the people that you love in your family just don't make room for that.
That's right.
They don't make room for boundaries, growth, or change.
What I
Well-
will say though is that was my prayer when I had my first child, and I think the Lord blessed me in that it wasn't my blood family
Right.
that became my village, that became
Yeah.
the people that gave them the cousin sleepovers and the summer camps and that babysat and all of the things. It wasn't those people that necessarily did it. Now I had cousins that were still active in my life to help me through certain stages of being a young mother, but when it came to being all the things that we did when we were younger,
It just might not be that.
it
way
might
for
not
them.
be that. And even when I had,
It just looks different.
Right. When I had Savannah, it was different. But my church family became her family. And I say church family, but these were the people that I met at church. And they
Yeah.
became, and they still are her godparents. We met there. So it became more. And, so they got that aspect from them, but it wasn't, to me, it wasn't the same. It wasn't Big Mama's house.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know we talked about boundaries with family, but you don't get there without setting boundaries in the relationship first.
Yes.
So you have to
Yeah.
set your boundaries with each other first because you
Right.
don't know what boundaries look like on the outside
Right.
until you have the boundaries set on the inside.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's,
That's
correct.
good.
That's really good.
We had to have some conversations because basically I don't know, I come from a very different family background than Money does.
Yeah.
And we've both had to set boundaries with family, but in different ways. And they've also received them in different ways.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm coming from a household that as soon as a boundary is set, the relationship is somewhat severed.
Yeah.
Versus
Yeah.
there may be some argument, there may be some pushback. Some people got attitude, may not talk for a little minute,
Right.
But he can set a boundary, and the relationship or whatever can still be mended.
Yeah, see, that's
Like
new.
that's a little different.
Yeah, that's new.
But that being said, it's like, oh, it does look different when I sit down and I'm like having a conversation with like, okay, well, hey, we no longer need to do this, and this. How do you feel about that? Coming to whatever compromise and common ground. It's like now we need to be able to communicate this with family and let them know
Yes.
like this is how this
what we decided.
exactly.
And y'all
But-
have to be on one accord so that y'all
Yes.
have a united front, even if
Right.
it's not necessarily something that he may fully agree with.
Yes.
He supports you, and the same
Yeah.
with you, with him.
Even with them getting united front at all times.
Yeah.
We can talk about it behind closed
Yes.
doors later.
Yeah.
Because when
And I will say, I
gosh.
also will say, like with what Haley's saying, I am a fixer to a fault. So even if there's
Yeah.
people who have done things or will do things and
Right.
that are bad, and like Haley, first time, done.
Done.
Cut off.
Oh yeah, I'm there with
But if
Haley.
I feel like
Yeah.
there was a misunderstanding or we can come to a common ground, then
Right.
let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's talk and see what happened. Let's see if you meant what you said,
Yeah.
or let's see if
Yeah.
I took it the wrong way or
Right,
you
right,
took what I said the wrong way. I'm gonna get down to the nitty gritty to make
Yeah.
sure that there's not a misunderstanding first.
See, that's
Yeah.
that's the counselor and my husband, and that's y'all. I'm telling
I
y'all.
feel like that's a
Peas in the
man.
pot.
I feel like that's a man thing sometimes though. Like I feel like
Yeah.
the emotional aspect of it of you just said something that hurt my feelings. Like I might have even tried once, but like ain't no 3 strikes here. Like if you mess up more than once, twice,
right?
You get me like the first time, shame on you. Second time, shame on me.
Look, you ain't even got to show me you gonna mess up if you look like. I'm telling you, if
it's not feeling right,
I'm telling you, watch
the vibes is off.
Watch how they treat other people. I got a brother that's 9 years, almost 10 years older than me, and as we got older, seeing how he interact with people, I'm like, you know what? I ain't even got to go through that. I learned from your mistakes.
I'm telling you right now,
I
don't have to touch the fire to know that it's hot. I can watch you get burnt.
Preach,
be like,
sister.
you know
Preach,
what?
sister.
That ain't got nothing to do with me.
Preach,
I ain't got to touch it. I ain't got to find out. I feel so passionate about that because so
Yes.
many people talk about, and like I get a lot. Oh, you have so much wisdom, this, that, and the third. No. I watched these heifers do some stupid stuff.
And I wasn't finna redo it.
I wasn't finna do it. Look, I didn't have to find out. I did not have to find out.
Yeah.
Marrying the wrong person.
Yeah.
I got a whole family of them. I'm like, I didn't have to find out.
I watched.
You see what I'm saying? I just watched.
Like you were supposed to.
Like I was supposed to. That's all I got to say.
You did it.
But look.
It's all right.
It's all right.
I feel very
Woosah.
passionate.
Woo.
Because people be
Woosah.
acting. I will say, people have made it their entire personality to be, oh, I had to learn it the hard way. No, you didn't.
Yeah, you didn't.
You chose to do that.
Right.
And you have become this whole thing about,
Right.
oh, well, I'm just not that person. I have to find out for myself.
Right.
I'm so sorry. If
don't
I
have to.
realize that dealing with this type of person leads to this,
Yes.
I'm not dealing with that person.
Right.
Now, there's a creator, I cannot remember her name right now, but she makes music, but she makes Christian stuff. And what her tagline is, like, she pretends like she's talking to God, and he'll be like, don't go do that. And she looks at him and goes, I'm gonna see for myself.
I know what you're talking about.
I see her. I see her.
I'm gonna see for myself. And she walks off, and then she comes back and is like, okay, you were right.
You're right.
Yeah.
Because you don't need to go see for yourself. You just want to do something when you know you ain't got no business doing it.
No business.
Facts.
Now, the other thing about boundaries is, what do you do when someone has crossed the boundary and you've decided that's enough?
What do I
What
do,
happens-
or
yeah.
what's a healthy thing to do?
Let's go with
What you would do first.
you first, and then what we think is a healthy way to handle that.
Yeah.
My immediate response: cut them off.
I agree.
I'm on to
I
the
agree,
next.
sister.
Like, hey,
I agree.
you know what?
I
But
agree.
I do realize, I do recognize his approach. Let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
Let's see if there's a misunderstanding.
What you about
Let's
to say,
try to come up with a solution. I get his approach is healthier. It does make a lot of sense.
I need a witness though. Don't leave me in a room with some.
Look at her.
Don't leave me in a room with somebody that I'm trying to. Cause
Because how do you cross that boundary? What you do?
yeah.
But I think for some people it might just be that, like, they haven't been taught about boundaries for real.
Yeah.
So they feel like, okay, it's like little kids. They will cross a boundary multiple times just to see what happens when they cross it.
Right.
Just to see if you're gonna follow through on what you said. You said I can't watch TV if you catch me in here watching my TV at night.
What
are
you
you really
gonna
gonna take it away?
Right.
Or are you gonna talk to me again?
Right.
Okay.
So I feel like adults do the same thing.
They do.
Maybe not intentionally with the same thought process as children.
Right.
But it's
well,
like
they might as well. Some of them children.
Yeah.
yes, but maybe not to the same extent.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like you don't
do-
give nobody no shot.
Yeah. Like, okay, I do recognize, because let's say we change the dynamic from just a person to my husband.
Right.
Like, okay, if it
Yes.
is him, because actually we had a little situation and circumstance.
Situation.
And circumstance a month or two ago where we made an agreement that on a specific situation and how it would be handled.
Yes.
I did not handle it within the what we had agreed upon.
Right.
Do your part.
I did not do my part. I did not do my part. In the moment, he was real calm. He didn't say nothing. Okay. We don't have conversations in front of folks.
That's
Right.
A good man.
That's
right.
a good man.
That's a good man,
That's a good
Mama.
man. We got into the car. He expressed his disappointment in a respectful manner because he ain't like he ain't
he
talking
don't talk
about the side of the
sideways.
neck.
Yeah.
He's a great husband.
Yeah.
He expressed his disappointment in the situation and how I lacked in my response to the situation. And I couldn't really say anything. I felt his disappointment. He was so calm
You
too.
felt
I was
So
like,
convicted.
what you didn't do was get defensive and
No.
turn it back around on
And
him.
see, and that's good. That shows growth.
I did. I was like, in that moment, I'm like, I do vividly remember saying, I really can't say much because you're right.
Right.
Like, I did not do it.
Yeah.
And you are so right.
Yeah.
And something that y'all gonna learn about me is I don't remember what I ate last week, so I do not know what she is talking about a month ago.
Well, I don't want to say no
but I
names
think
of situations.
Right,
I think the good part is about that is that you're not holding on to
Right,
stuff.
I'm not.
right. You're not
You
so
say it
emotionally
in the
invested.
moment, so it's done.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
So now it's like, all right, we fixed that. We talked about it. It's over. Now it come up
Right.
again. It might come back to your memory and say, hey, we
Yeah.
already had this discussion. But you already talked about it. You moved on on to the next.
My
You know what I
husband's
mean?
like that. He's,
Yeah.
I mean, y'all know.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
fantastic.
But back to what you were saying about the boundaries, when somebody breaks those
When
boundaries,
they
cross
cross
them.
it, when they
cross
the
them. That's
line.
when the rules are set.
That is when
Yeah.
That's when the
It is
rules
when
come
the
into
rules are
play,
set.
and it's like, okay, so you cross this boundary. Let me let you know how not to do that again.
That's right. That's right.
Let's show you a different way.
Right.
So I think
Definitely
that's
set
when
a
you.
rule after that.
Right. I think
I
rules
really
are-
want to know what happened. Now. Like, I'm trying to think.
I think rules are a good representation of what you truly want. I think you should set boundaries and rules at the same time.
Yes, I think you have to.
Because I think that stops them from crossing it maybe as much. Like there may still be aspects of it, especially if boundary is foreign to them. But
Yeah.
I think when you set rules in place, it's like, okay, I have something I can follow. Because people need things they can follow. They need an order to things. They need direct and laid out
Yeah.
clear. And I think rules clarify everything.
Yeah, I think they definitely coincide, and they help
Yeah.
with
Yes.
whatever the standard is. It's kind of
Yes.
like in school,
Yeah.
they'll tell you, okay, a standard is safety.
Right.
But a rule for the classroom would be like, don't run with scissors.
Right.
Don't chew on
Right,
glue.
right,
like
right.
don't
Don't chew
do
on
this
glue.
That's
or
right.
yeah, do these things. And it doesn't say be safe, but you know these
Right,
are
it's
safety
implied.
tips.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's
And see,
implied.
people always feel like rules are only for children.
No.
But and like, because we have this whole thing. Oh, children crave structure.
Yeah.
Children need rules.
Adults
So do
okay,
adults.
but so do adults.
Yeah.
Right.
Because if you take this kid that needs and craves the structure and craves the rules and craves the boundaries, how do you expect them to just get rid of that as an adult? Why
Right.
does that not work for them as well? And see, I'm teaching Jackson. I think I've said this before on the podcast, but I'm teaching Jackson how to set boundaries and rules for himself with his little friends.
Yes.
Just like, okay, well, he called me a name. I said, okay, cool. He called you the name. What are you going to do about it?
Right.
What's the point? What's now?
Yeah.
Well, you say, I won't play with you if you continue to call me names.
Right.
Right.
And then
That
stand
is
on
my
it.
boundary. The I statement. I won't play with you.
Right.
Right.
If you continue that. The rule is don't call me names. I
Right.
don't like that. I
Yeah.
don't like to be called
Yeah, I
names. I don't
agree.
like that. You're losing the game. I don't care. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
we
agree.
playing basketball now, you done push me. I gotta go.
Mhm.
Like I'm going to go play somewhere else. And you tell these kids, I don't want to do that. I will come back and play with you when you have a better response to me, or
Right.
when you are not calling me names, or when you're better.
Right.
But for now, I'm gonna go over here and play with Sally.
Right.
You know what? I think that reminds me of us very early on in our relationship where he don't argue, and you don't raise his voice, and like
Yeah.
he is
And
very.
that's what I want Jackson to be.
like-
Don't raise your voice, just like William. They don't
Right.
raise their voice.
Yeah, Elder
Don't
does.
do it.
When I tell you, it's to the point to where if he has raised his voice, I either know he's playing basketball or somebody has
basketball.
done something
Yeah.
or said something about me. That is the only time I've
And that's-
ever
I'm
been angry.
That is wild.
And
'cause
the,
Yeah.
the two,
Don't matter
I
about
found
themselves.
out really quickly because it's like it's a different tone too. Because
Yeah.
it's like a
yeah,
yelling,
yeah. It's a protective
but it's
tone.
yes, it's so much deeper. And I'm
Yeah.
like, but
Yeah.
I will say, like I am somebody. I will debate back and forth on a topic, flip it left, right, up,
Yes.
down before I let it loose.
Yeah.
And when I
And
tell
he's like,
he's
nah.
like, no. But also, I don't realize, and you probably can tell, I don't realize my tone of voice a lot of times. If you go back and watch this video, I be
Yeah.
loud. I be
Yeah,
loud.
it's like you're
but-
excited
I mean,
and not
yeah.
necessarily
yes.
upset. So your tone goes with
Yeah.
the excitement or the
You
how
got two people in your life that do that.
And it's just natural. But it doesn't necessarily.
The Lord gave his strongest
And they're
battle.
related.
battles. Yes,
That's
and they related.
That's wild. Genetics.
Hardest battles
That's
to
genetics.
a mid soldier. I ain't even the strongest.
Man.
I'm a mid soldier
Look,
at this point, y'all.
Left
y'all
and
know.
right.
I'm working on it.
Look to her right. Let's see who's there. Look to her left. Let's see who's there.
I mean, it works though.
Yeah, yeah, it does.
But y'all will
But-
say since you got this man.
Yeah.
He was very,
Yeah,
he was,
yeah.
look, he was very clear on his boundary and his rule.
Yeah, yeah.
You're not gonna have this conversation.
Yeah, I got one of
if
those.
If you up here.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna argue with you. Like that's his thing. He's like, I'm not gonna argue with you. We're not going to like arguments are non-existent. There are disagreements,
Right.
But the tone, it was to the point to where we sat down and had a conversation about, this was when we were engaged. One, the best way that we can receive criticism.
Yeah.
Because it is our responsibility to be able to handle the emotional impact of being told that we've done something wrong.
Right.
Yes.
But it's also our responsibility
good.
to communicate, hey, if I have done something, the best way to address it with me is in this manner.
Yes.
And even though it don't feel good, that's I'm to deal with those emotions,
Right.
but don't come at me yelling because I'm never.
We
that's
discussed
the
that in our
problem.
communication episode.
Right.
We did.
So I'm
But
like,
also had to
okay.
learn whatever way she said isn't the same way for me.
Exactly.
So just
Right.
because
So
she
it
receives it a way does not mean I
Yeah.
receive it the same way.
And that's
That-
hard. That can
that
be
is
hard
really
just
hard.
because you're used to. I like this. It's
Right.
the same thing as love languages.
Yes.
I like this, so you should like it too.
That's
Right.
right.
But
Yeah.
that's not true. We're different
No.
people. We have different backgrounds. We came
Yeah.
from different places. I just met you a few years ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Literally, I just met
Yeah.
you had a
I got this
whole
stuff
life.
ingrained in me.
Yes,
from-
you had a whole
Yeah.
life where somebody ingrained into you. This is how you should
This is
handle
how it
things.
is.
Right.
And now
This
you
what
want
it
me to
looks
just,
like.
I'm not gonna change it just because we got together.
That's right.
Exactly. Well,
Not
I
all the way,
did.
not all the way, but
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
handling the way I handle things is the way I handle it.
Right.
And I need you to understand that I don't handle it the same way you do.
Exactly.
Me and my spouse, that's what we discussed in our marriage counseling, is how we were going to handle agreements and arguments and all of that. And I said this before on our podcast, but he was adamant. He said, we can have any argument you want as long as it's going to benefit our marriage and our relationship. It's going to make us stronger. We're going to have solutions from it. But if not,
Now,
we're not going to.
has that happened for you yet? When you was hollering at that man,
Oh,
and there was
oh,
any.
all the time. All the time. All the time. I done let loose. I
But I'm
told
sorry,
y'all I was a
was there a
wild card.
solution? Was there any solution?
There was always a solution. It was for me to seek the Lord, humble myself before that man and God, come back and apologize. Let me tell you something.
Give apologies.
Let me tell you something. Learning to apologize when you have never said I'm sorry. Oh my God. I'm talking about. What I'm trying to say is,
Actually, give me about 10 more minutes.
never
I'll be
did
right
I
back.
say I was wrong in any of the apologies. And some of them was if you thought I did something wrong.
Woo. You know
I
what?
said that a bunch of times.
That is not an apology.
That-
And he would always be like, well, I know you're trying.
That man
So
said-
we're going to accept that. And then eventually at some point, he pulled the money. And he was like, you know what, baby? I think we're at a point where you should be able to say,
I was wrong.
I was wrong and I'm sorry. And I'm better now. But I mean, before I was raising HE double with that man. And he just be
Man.
sitting there so calm. Like he's like money. He doesn't raise his voice. His tone, nothing changes. Everything. And that, boy, for somebody that like to be confrontational, I mean that. I don't like to be confrontational.
It's
I don't
something
like
about
to be
being
confrontational.
validated in your confrontation. But
Yes.
if you don't match, if
you don't match
my energy, it feels like disrespect.
It
Oh, you
feels
calling
like
me crazy?
It feels like you. It
I ain't
feels
even
like you
said
don't.
nothing.
Look,
No, because
look.
why you ain't me out here like, come on now.
It feels like you don't love me.
No.
You ain't fighting for us.
Look.
Why you ain't fighting with me?
Let's talk about the trauma and the toxicity of that statement.
Okay,
right?
Wow.
hold on.
Okay,
We're
we're
better.
better. We're better now.
We are.
We better now.
We're better.
The toxicity and the trauma was loud in that
Hey,
statement.
Look, we better.
We're not operating in that.
Look, this was
because
not.
he set boundaries and rules.
That's
I can't
right.
be that
He
loud.
let me know
otherwise
his
he ain't going to
standards.
engage in the conversation.
That's
I
right.
said, okay, all right,
Okay, all right,
we
we'll
can
figure
have
this out.
Yeah.
Right.
But
So let me know.
how many of these did you have before? Like,
Ooh.
was there times
okay.
when you raised your voice and that man said he actually put his stuff in place and
Okay.
gave you consequences for acting a fool?
I'm gonna say this.
Yeah.
There,
Your mind hell.
because at the point in time, actually, I'm gonna say it like this because you and Doc bullied me in telling me that I
Wait
was
a
a
minute.
bully.
Wait-
No.
Wait a minute. You
Y'all-
bullied?
Let it out.
Yeah,
Let
no,
your
no,
trauma
no.
out, girl.
No.
Let your trauma out.
Because I was constantly told how mean I was and how much of a bully I was.
Nobody ever
I
told me I was
can't-
mean. I had to figure that out on my own. I wish I had somebody.
I came into this relationship with the understanding that, okay, I need to be nice. So he hasn't even gotten a lot of like craziness
And I
because
won't,
I was told
actually.
all the time.
You should have let that crazy out a long time ago.
Like,
You
I
too
was-
late now.
I was
You in the
told
game.
all-
Like I said,
It's
now
Too
I
late
won't.
now. You in the game. See, I let mine out in the beginning.
You a baby in. It's too late now.
Yeah.
But hear me out
yeah,
though.
too late
I
now.
feel like a lot of the pushback that I got from you guys on how I was, it made me like I was like, okay, I can self-reflect because also
Yeah.
I was in a household where I saw like
Yelling was the way you handle things.
Yeah.
beating them up was the way you handled
Yeah,
it,
yeah, yeah. Lay
actually.
hands.
Like I mean, yelling was a part of that.
Well, I
you
mean,
know.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, I can't be that way.
Yeah.
All right. So like talk like every time y'all was like, y'all mean you mean to that boy. I'm not
Yeah.
actually. But actually
actually
I
you
was.
are.
Okay, I was.
See, I needed people around me. I didn't have
to that
nobody
other
around me.
boy. But
Not this
anyways,
one.
Wait a
Not-
minute.
and then I had a thought. I don't want to lose the thought.
Don't lose the thought.
But it was
Put
from
on your
what
white
you
talk.
said. Off the
listen.
apologizing. This is something that I had to learn.
Yeah.
Not just the apologizing, but a lot of times when we had disagreements, it was misunderstandings. So it was like it would be
Yeah.
like she
Yeah.
felt the way, and I would be like, no, this is what I meant. I didn't
Right.
mean that. So now I feel like I don't have to apologize because you took something away that I didn't mean.
Yeah, yeah.
Not saying I didn't say I don't feel
Right.
like I,
It-
but I
it's
was
in
like,
your head. Yeah.
but like
Oh,
we might
Yeah.
sit there for 30 minutes. I'm explaining like, no,
Right.
this is what I meant when I said this. This is what I meant
Yeah.
when I said this. I meant this right here.
nothing
to me. Right.
And she'd be like, oh, okay. Oh, and,
Yeah.
and through it, she's like, oh, well, I just thought. And she's telling me everything, but then after it's done, it's like, wait, why are you still upset?
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on?
See, intention.
Right.
gets
I was gonna
lost.
say intent doesn't erase impact.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
It should. Okay,
It's-
I'm just kidding.
It
I'm just kidding.
does not.
Because
It
the
does not.
intention of someone else might not be okay. Perception is everything.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
How
for
I
sure.
receive it,
For sure.
reality, all of the things play a part in that. But intention means nothing to me.
Yeah.
I don't care what your intention was. Tell me what it is, because I feel like, especially in my marriage, I have been very clear about my hard nose, my soft yeses. And when I say a soft yes, I mean I'm barely on the cusp of saying yes. And so I may need a little bit of help when it comes to a boundary or rule or a standard that I've already set. And sometimes that's hard when you have someone that is very by the book.
Yeah.
And my husband is very by the book. He's very, he's not rigid, but he's, he follows rules and standards, and he has them, and he expects his household to run by them. And for somebody that wasn't submissive, that's fighting words to me.
Yeah.
Rules and boundaries is fighting words.
Yeah.
I don't care nothing about your rules, nothing about your boundaries and your
You
standards.
think this is a dictatorship?
That's what I'm saying. Who you think you is?
That's
You
what
know,
it comes off
yeah.
when
Yeah.
you don't grow up in that type of household
Yes.
and you don't have that modeled for you.
Yeah.
What it feels like, and if I'm being honest with you, it seems like this is the push across social media now, this narrative that if you are submissive, it's more of you think this is a dictatorship and I'm
Right.
just supposed to get
Right.
in line
And
and do what you say.
that's not what God
and that's not right.
laid out
That's
it to
not
be.
what it is.
Yeah.
But that's what when you don't grow up in that order, when you
Right.
don't grow up with that displayed in front of you, especially when you're growing up and the person that's handling everything is your mother.
Yeah.
Whether that's a good
Yeah.
mom or not.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Like
right.
what you internalize in your head is,
I'm in
I
charge.
need
Right.
to run this.
Right.
And you
I need to have a big say
spend
so in all these things.
exactly. And you spend most of your time doing that. You running your
Yep,
life, you
yep,
organizing everything,
yep.
and then
agree.
boom, you got this man coming up in here.
Yeah.
Talk
What
about
you think this
Let
is?
me
I
take
agree.
care of you. Let me help.
Right.
It don't feel like that. It's like, actually, this is my house. These my rules. This is what you gonna do, and this is what. That's what it.
taking away all my rights.
Yeah.
But that's not what's actually being communicated. That
Right.
is just what I'm hearing based
That's right.
on the lens that I've been raised under.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
agree.
taken so much time and step back. Like I've been in moments where I'm sitting here like actively, I realize you are probably not meaning it the way that I am hearing it.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
And the way that I am
Yeah, that's-
hearing it is heavily shaped by
Right.
the lack of having this modeled for
Right.
me. So let me not respond in the way that I want to. And this is
Yeah.
like a whole internal dialogue that I'm having to myself as he's talking. So I'm missing what he actually saying.
Right. And I
But-
think
He's trying to make sure you don't talk crazy to that man.
that's right.
But that goes back to what
Money
what
like,
Sam was saying.
look at
Yeah.
him, look at
I
him.
think it's in.
He like, you've been ignoring me is what you're saying.
No.
I
Because when
also-
I come back with an apology, it's
my
because
hand.
of that internal dialogue.
Right, that's right, that's right. I also think it's important that when you're discussing submissiveness, when it relates to boundaries and standards and rules, it has to be someone that can lead.
Yes.
Someone that is also
Knew exactly where that was
submissive.
going.
Yes.
You hear me? I mean, I'm telling you, my husband is submissive to the Lord and those that have rule and authority over him, that speak life into him, that guide him and direct him. So therefore, it makes it easier for me. And that was something that I didn't understand when I was younger, is that, because again, it wasn't modeled after me. It wasn't modeled before me. Is that if the person is also submissive, it's easy for me to submit.
Right.
And it's easy for me to know how to do so because they also know how they have a servant's heart, and my husband has a servant heart. So if he knows how to be a servant, then I should absolutely do my best to learn how to serve him, because he serves me in the
Right.
ways that I need to be served. And so I think it's important that because we grew up in atmospheres that it wasn't necessarily modeled, and I grew up in a family where boys were treasured, and girls weren't necessarily looked down upon, but we also wasn't uplifted. Like
Yeah.
we didn't. So you felt the rejection,
divide
Yeah, you felt
between-
the divide. So that kind of built something around you of I ain't taking no mess from nobody. Ain't nobody going. It's opposite. You don't feel like I should listen to anybody else.
Yeah.
And then that breeds rebellion. And so when you get older, you start trying to learn your relationship with God, and you have relationships with people, you know, you start getting that mentality of, this is my boundary.
Right.
Like I said in the last episode, you're foe until you're friend.
Yeah.
You know, you're enemy until you're not.
Y'all, that's not how it should be.
Okay,
it isn't how it should
I
be.
said what my thing was, you can be neutral. Somebody doesn't have to be a
Yeah.
foe. Like
Yeah.
that's so harsh to be like, I just met this man. You bring him around me. I just meet him and I'm like, oh, he a foe until I figure out that he a friend.
Yeah.
Like I'm neutral
But-
toward
but
not,
see,
not even
I don't. It's okay.
I don't think it's any different.
See,
But
I
it
think
wasn't me.
neutral is a little too soft because
Yes,
I don't
yeah.
put nothing past you if I don't know
Right.
you.
Well, see, also, I think, again, it comes from your background and your upbringing is that,
So everybody a foe to you before you.
Not a foe, but I don't put nothing past people.
right.
but
right.
I've been looking at you like,
But see,
I'm
doing
not
that.
treating you. Sorry, I'm not treating you in a way
Right.
that seems rude or disrespectful.
That's right. Yeah.
But in my head,
Yeah. I don't like
you
it.
are
You
not
don't
a
care
person.
about me.
I don't
You know?
like
Oh,
it.
yes. And to me, I'm just
don't know
keeping,
you.
to me, keeping somebody neutral just means keeping them at arm's length. Like I'm not about to be up here telling you all about my life. You're not gonna know about my family. Like we just cool for now. But
Right.
I'm not looking at you like you might do something to me tomorrow. Like
Okay.
Right.
I'm not there
see
with
what
you
you're
until
saying.
Well,
you
I also
become-
think-
so I decide which side of the fence you go on.
Right.
Well, I also think-
automatically like you finna do something right now, ain't you?
But see, your upbringing,
I don't know you.
your upbringing also gives you the ability, most people's upbringings give them ability to read people immediately. So me already having that.
all of y'all with the face.
Look, I'm saying me already having that is not necessarily traumatic or dysfunction. I think it can be used in that manner, but I also think it's a good quality to have. And I think most people that grew up the way that we grew up, excluding you, I'm sorry, sweetie.
I think I'm cool with being excluded
Yeah.
from this group.
Yeah,
I don't
think
want to be in this category.
That-
Right.
Well,
You
look, we
automatically-
are raising our children to be like you.
Yes,
have
we
your
are.
type of
We
upbringing.
are.
Yes.
Like people
We
can
are.
be neutral, and then you just keep, you know.
Yeah.
'cause she was
It's not
just
a bad
talking about,
thing.
It's not a
It's not a
bad
bad
thing.
thing.
She was even talking about how like her daughter, her oldest daughter, does
Yeah.
not keep her head on the swivel all the time, and I was like, baby, neither do I.
Look,
she is me and I am her.
I keep telling you. I keep telling
my head's not
y'all.
on a swivel at all times.
I keep telling y'all.
I'm on my own, and it needs to be.
Yes, my oldest is so much like AJ.
I'm just not.
That's why I come to AJ.
I
come
grew
to
up
AJ.
safe, y'all. I'm sorry.
I come to AJ and I say, look, I come to her, I say, so what did you do in this situation? She said, how you know I done this situation? You are my oldest. So therefore,
I
you
know.
already. She said, yep, I have. Let me tell you what I did. And then I go and I
And I'm
handle
like,
that
hey, and this is how you should
situation.
talk to her. You should talk to her
Right,
like this, and
yes,
this.
she
Say this,
does.
say that. And she's like, got it.
Right, but see that youngest is me. She like this all the time. I walked in the door.
And why? Because she got the safest environment.
Look, I'm
Man,
telling you.
because you're the best version of satin.
Right. Look,
But
the
she
first,
still
the first one got the pancake me. You know they said the first pancake. She got
It's
that
little,
one.
it's little birds
Man,
outside and not
poor
fully
baby.
circular.
Even in that, she doesn't have any. My oldest, she feels safe. That's why her head is not on a swivel. And the youngest, I was like, somebody got to have some survival skills. If the apocalypse happened, the youngest got to help save the oldest. Because the oldest is gonna be like, and this is a side note. It's not a side note. It's related though.
Every time.
Every time.
It's a side note.
But at church, at the ministry that I was at before.
Go on.
I'm sorry.
Go on.
One of the elders did this, like he preached on something, and he had both my daughters come up, and he was, I think it was like God's protection and defense, and so he like act like he was attacking them. The oldest one immediately did like this. The youngest one squared up. And at the time, she may have been like 9, 10 years old. Like, she was young. She squared up and started swinging, and he had to move. And they were like, wait a minute. He's like, I wasn't expecting it to go like that. I was saying that the Lord, he said, but that's good. And he used it and said that, you know, when we feel safe in the Lord, we immediately ball up because we know he's going to protect us. Because Elder, my husband, came up. And when he came up, he instinctively went and covered the oldest, and with the youngest one, he got ready to, and she was already ready. And so even like I walked in the house the other day, and I didn't last week.
You ain't let that girl know.
I didn't let her know that I was coming home, y'all.
The youngest one did not let her know that she was coming home, and she did what?
She had a bat. she first of all, she asked her dad, could she have a bat? He said, oh, you want a baseball? She's like, no, it's somebody coming to the house.
Yeah.
I got a defense, you know,
because we had 2 and they were
Right.
metal.
Right.
Not
And that's
the wooden bats.
That's what she got as a metal bat. And so she came in and she was at the bottom of the stairs like this. Ready. She took my head clean off, y'all. Clean off. And she
like,
said,
well, you should have told me you was coming.
now I'm her mama, y'all. She said, you should have said something. She said, Mama, I almost got you.
You better announce yourself next time.
Now,
I almost got you as well. You almost got got.
you know what? And what's wild is I said, you right. Hey, why is she like that?
You know what? My fault.
right.
My fault, G.
And it's because she's always been aware like that. Even when we go places, she recognizes the atmosphere. She recognizes where we are. So like if I say, where did we turn at? She's like, oh, Mom, you turned down there by the restaurant. It had this, da 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 da. Now my oldest, where did we turn at? She's my mom. You know where we at?
I wasn't even looking.
I wasn't even looking.
I forgot where you said
where we going? Don't you got GPS? And so it's just.
You got GPS?
Yeah, like the youngest one, I think it's because again she has the best. She got the best version of me. So me teaching her those skills or me putting those in her, she doesn't have any fear with it, and she doesn't feel like she has to. She just makes sure that
she just makes sure she's safe.
Right, she say I'm here alone at the house for 30 minutes today, and she knows I know I'm gonna be here for this amount of time, so I got to be on alert for those 30 minutes. Once we get home,
turned off.
Okay.
Turned off.
Well, to piggyback off your side note, but another topic that'll get us back on topic. The first part of the piggyback is I have said throughout my pregnancy, even in a few of our videos that we talked about our pregnancy, and when people ask me what is something that I want my daughter to have, and I've consistently said I pray that she has the resilience that I can have without the experience I've had to have.
Ooh, that's good.
Because I do think it is a bit of an epidemic that we have people my age and younger who lack resilience. They don't have no bounce back.
They don't.
And I'm like,
down.
and here's the thing. I find myself a lot of times in relationships with individuals who never had to have it.
Oh, wow.
And I'm sitting here like, okay, what can I do to instill, other than, praying and interceding, that my daughter has resilience without her having to be traumatized?
You got
because
to show
the reality of it
example.
is, it's like, I have so many relationships with individuals who they crumble very quickly when something happens.
And I don't have the patience.
I'm
learning, but it's hard.
I think it was you that said, I think your experience is what keeps you from having like empathy for people who don't have like the ability. Because really quickly, I'm sitting here like, is this what we crying about?
Yeah.
This is what you're upset?
Right.
Get out of my face.
That person doesn't have anything worse to go with.
But
like I've experienced worse things. What's wrong with it?
What is wrong with it? Because it seems so minuscule, but I don't want to minimize my child in that way because I don't want her to have to go through some of the things that I've been through. But I do want her to be able to be resilient, to be able to be like, okay, I need to pay attention to my surroundings, what's going on. But when something happens, I need to be able to realize, I can't crumble in this moment.
Right.
I need to keep moving forward. We need to find a solution. Yes.
And
so
I will say, like him wanting to put her in jiu-jitsu, that's going to give her resilience because she's going to lose.
That's
she's
going
to lose. Somebody's going to beat her up.
I think sports.
Hold on now.
I think sports do that. Sports
yes.
give them that ability to be able to how to manage their emotions and competitiveness. And if I lose, how do I handle it? I think all of those are.
Yeah, so that'll be great. Even if she tells us that she plays some other sport, she joins groups of friends, she joins clubs, she does like anything that she gets into, it can be a positive experience that also gives her the growth that you're looking for. Without it having to be a traumatic experience to give her the same thing.
That is my prayer. Now, the other thing to piggyback back on topic was she mentioned how she would use her boundaries as a defense. And I often get frustrated when people overuse the term, this is my boundary. When in reality, first of all, you never communicated anything to anybody about anything.
That's silent.
And then second of all, it's personal.
Boundary.
Like this is something, and it's more of a standard that you're trying to communicate than it actually is a boundary. Because the standard in my relationship is I'm not dating a bum.
That's right.
That is a standard for me.
Yeah, standard is versus your self-worth.
So
exactly.
I'm just playing.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's diabolical.
Listen, what y'all don't know is he be calling me old on a regular basis.
Well,
so I'm gonna get him.
He's not entirely wrong.
I have not called
I
him
mean,
old
we already
since
know
I've
I'm a
been
senior
here.
citizen.
Since you've been here.
Since you've been here.
That's crazy.
That's
not in 2026, but since he's been here.
He's been at my house less than 24 hours.
Less than 24 hours.
You know what I'm saying?
That's not a record, sir. That's not
that
something you
actually
should be
is.
bragging. That's not something you should be bragging about.
But ultimately, it boils down to the fact that people don't understand the difference between what a standard is and what a boundary is.
That's right.
And a lot of people overuse boundaries. They weaponize like therapy talk. Because they're upset.
They ain't even been to therapy.
They
don't watch the video.
Somebody on an Instagram video talking about boundaries on a 2-minute reel, and I'm sitting here like, I'm like, forget out my face, because
not a 2-minute reel.
Yes, and also ironically goes back to people who lack resilience, because oftentimes when I see people weaponize it, it's people who are so fragile. And it is to the point to where I don't want to talk to you anymore because one, you don't know the difference between boundary rules and standards. You're talking to me about a standard that's internal. That has everything to do with you and nothing to do with me. That's number one. Number two, you lack the ability to have a conversation and resolve conflict because you're too scared to sit here and say, hey, you have offended me in this way.
That's right.
Now,
the passive.
Uncomfortable conversation. Yes. Now I'm going to say this. If you do not want to resolve and like move forward with that relationship, I'm all for just going on to the next.
On.
But if you want to keep me in your life, but you have like this passive aggressive behavior and because I've crossed the boundary that's an imaginary thing in your head or a standard that you did not communicate or that's something internal for you to live by. That has everything to do with you, but you didn't communicate that with me.
That's right. I agree.
And that is something that I'm like, I can't get behind it.
Right. Now, we need to close this out, y'all. This was a great conversation.
So sorry.
Well, you knew this was going to be a long one. I don't even know why you're trying to cap this.
I'm so sorry I didn't include you in this too much.
I was about to ask Manny a question.
Right.
Manny, did you have anything that you wanted to end us off with about boundaries and things for your own life or what you want for your daughter or anything like that?
Yeah.
How do you want her to use boundaries and standards and things for her own life and her own relationships?
Well, I think, I hope this don't take us into another tangent, but I think that me and Haley will set boundaries, standards, rules in our relationship and with her that she is going to carry for forever.
Yeah.
And it's going to help her.
Model it.
Yes. It's not going to be a thing that is necessarily said or it's going to be like taught like, oh, remember we told you this.
Yeah.
She's going to see it.
Yeah.
There's going to be things that she's going to continuously see over the years. And there's going to be things where she may not agree with it. Yeah. She might not want to take certain boundaries with her. But it's going to be some where she's like, I'm going to hold on to that for the rest of my life. So now when she goes to college or when she does the basketball, football, not football, basketball, jiu-jitsu. You're right, they do.
Yeah.
When she goes off and gets married, Jesus.
Yeah.
Boy.
She's going to have these boundaries that have started with us.
Yeah.
And that I think that is how she is going. I don't want to try to force too many things on her. I want her to be her own person.
Yeah.
I don't want her.
Right.
Yeah.
I definitely.
That's the hardest part.
Yes,
Yeah,
I definitely want her to have
structure.
the best qualities of us, but I don't want to sit here and try to force that onto her.
Yeah.
But modeling things for a kid and showing them
Yes.
what a healthy relationship looks like.
Yes.
And even
It's
like,
the
I know people
best.
say don't argue in front of your kid, but having
A disagreement.
Yes.
discussions and saying like, okay,
to
now,
let them know how to
Yes,
handle
And
it.
showing them how to talk about
yes,
things.
like,
Yes.
okay, you know what,
Yeah.
maybe I didn't like the way you did this, but nothing, too deep in front of her. But like
Right.
something that was simple, so she understands, all right, Dad was irritated with Mama, or he told her something that he was upset about. She listened. And validated his concern.
That's right.
And then they resolved the conflict. So
And
like,
we had dinner like a loving family that
Yeah.
same
See,
night.
that's
Ain't no
something-
yelling, no cussing, no beating, no fighting.
That's something I didn't
she
do
don't
with
even
my
know that it
oldest.
exists
Exactly.
as something that people do in their household. Like when y'all talk about stuff that happened, I'm like, people do that. That didn't happen at my house.
That's right.
If my parents was yelling at each other, it was for fun.
Nah, they ripped
They
phones
were
off the
no,
wall
no.
and each other.
We throwing balled up socks at each other for fun at my house. Like
we get butcher knives out the cabinet, out the drawer.
See, but that is
Boiling
good though,
hot
because
water.
like from what I'm saying, I want to be a lead by example. Because even when I coached, I was a lead by example coach. If I'm telling you to do this, cut, whatever, I'm gonna show you how to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and
Right.
say,
Yeah.
go down, come back. Matter of fact, watch out. Step to the side. Watch me.
I'm gonna show you what I want you
I'm
to
gonna
do.
show you
Right.
how to do this. Like you said, with the disagreements.
Yeah.
Let me show you how to have a disagreement, but also not be mad after the fact.
Right.
Yes.
Like so.
Like release
let
the
it go.
emotions.
Yes.
I did want to add this when you were talking about empathy. When I didn't have a lot of empathy, but when I came to Christ, and I didn't have it in either. It took a long while. I mean, it took a long
It
while.
takes time.
It took time. It took the Lord embedding Himself in my life and the Holy Spirit embedding Himself inside me before empathy really came. And we were having this discussion about something about a particular person, and I was showing you the empathetic way to deal with it. You was like, you know what, that makes sense. She said, that's why I be talking. You know,
That's why I
you're
talk to
right.
you sometimes.
I'm
Right.
actually surprised you learning empathy from Satin.
Because
I learned
Look,
it from
wait a minute now.
Cause
Say that on here because some people ain't gonna believe I got it.
I'm gonna scrub that out.
Some people ain't gonna believe I got it. They ain't gonna believe I got it. But
You do.
You know, it came from Christ, and
I was gonna say you teach me empathy and from a Christ-like standpoint, rather than just the empathy that I can teach you from just having it already.
Yeah, because I didn't have it, and it had to be ingrained from the Lord, and then I was able to see that modeled through my husband.
Yeah. Yeah, when you get to Jesus, things change for you.
Yeah,
and having people around you.
That's right. Yes. That's right.
That
that's
uphold the boundaries, rules, and standards that you set.
Yeah.
You know, and they follow the standards. They are with you.
And they help you keep them.
They
help you keep them because my spouse did that. You know, with my relationship with my mom, he helped me be able to.
That's a big one on
he had that.
Having somebody that helps you say, hey, you said this is something that you won't allow, but you're allowing it with this person. Right. I see it from the outside. Maybe you don't notice it because you're too close to it.
Right. Or when I let them cross the boundary, he would automatically go to them in front of me. He'll say, "Look, listen, this is a boundary that she set, and although I don't have a real say so in it, I don't like the effect that it has on my wife. My household is going to be free." And if what you're doing is going to cause her to be bound, then we're going to have to make sure that we extend the rules, the boundaries, and set some more standards.
Yeah.
So it's important that you have people in your life.
We love Elder.
We love that man.
We do.
We love that man down.
Boundaries, rules, and standards. That's how you stay rooted and real.
Hey.
Look at you, money.
Rooted in the realness.
Hey, rooted and real, y'all. Hey, all right. Join us for our next episode. Thank y'all for watching.
Yes, thank you to the Blacks for coming in.
Thank y'all for coming.
Thank you guys for coming in. We love y'all.
All right.
See you guys next time.
I'll let you later.